Yo, let's do some YouTube and Twitch video reactions. Here we go. Ms. Kiff gets trauma dumped by Tiffany for 12 minutes.
We're going out again?
Yeah.
Tiff, when did we have a break? This is ridiculous.
When we die.
What's going on here? What is up with the buffering? Of course.
When we're back in the States.
Tiff, I'm very tired.
You should have slept.
I did sleep.
Okay,
but it's
you're
just
good then.
But there's like enough is enough. Like
but the juzz.
Right, but there's also my cholesterol. There's the fact that I'm tired. Like, when are we gonna have like a real break? Like maybe we have a night where we all have like a puzzle night.
Why would I do that when I can just go
anime.
party?
You can't like party every day.
Yeah.
Some of our friends. It's always interesting when you ride a taxi in Japan. They always have this type of cover on it. Anyway, let's continue.
Just got here.
Doesn't it get monotonous after a while?
No, it all just blends together.
But that's not a good thing. Don't you want to remember the moments?
I don't want to remember anything.
Oh my god, I forgot who I'm dealing with. Chat, if I give you the camera for 5 seconds without me, she's gonna trauma dump on you.
Yeah. No, I am excited. I'm just like, you know, like every day has just only been like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and it just doesn't stop.
So why don't we have like, take a day off and break? Why don't we just relax for a day, Tiff? Like, we can just chill.
Excuse me. I think your viewers think I'm disgusting. That's just how I am. That's probably why I'm single.
Yeah, you're definitely not a good partner or person.
Oh, that's mean.
Let me keep the camera over here.
Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Miz? Hey. Hey.
Alright, Christmas or Black History Month?
Neither. I hate seeing other people happy when I'm not happy.
I'm not really the happiest during Black History Month, I'll be honest.
Why not? That's February, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and since you're so depressingly single, I wouldn't be happy either.
No, it's because...
Because, like, Valentine's Day?
I'm 30, so it's when you get older, and it's just, you don't want that month to come, you know?
Why?
I don't want to, you know... I don't even like talking about how old I am at this point. You know, I don't want to celebrate it. You know? Because, like, I don't mind being in my 30s. No problem. Apparently 30s are the greatest time of your life.
That's what, like, people in their 30s say to make themselves feel better, right?
You're right, kind of.
It's okay, I'm also pushing 30.
I do agree with you, but I think the truth is, like, people in their 30s do say that, but people in their 40s say that too, and I believe the people in their 40s. But their 30s are apparently, like, the best as for men. Like, specifically only men.
My mom's like, when you get married, so you get old, no one's gonna like you. I'm like...
Yeah, that's probably true. Like, Asmongold's 35 or something, and he's, like, doing really well.
I think I'm running out of time. I think when I turn maybe 35 and I'm still single, I'm just gonna end my life in game.
Well, there's an app for that. And what you can also do...
An app?
Well, what you can do instead of ending your life is you can actually go get surgery. So that way you become a guy. And then that way you can be fine in your 30s.
Because being a man in their 30s is better than being a woman in their 30s.
Women peak in their 20s. Like early 20s, like 21. Leonardo, that's a quote from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Are you dead, Adam?
Yeah, women peak in like 21.
She looks so sad.
I mean, chat, like, I clearly have not peaked.
It's actually over. It's actually doomed. I'm not gonna find the love of my life. Ever. I'm not gonna find it in LA. I'm not gonna find it in the States. I'm not gonna find it in a foreign ass country.
He cut out the audio.
And then he left me, and
Trauma dump, chat. Told you about it. Just doesn't stop around these parts. Doesn't stop.
why does everyone leave?
Yeah, I don't know, Tiff. I'm not sure.
Guys, when I burp, I swear I'm not burping on purpose. I have acid reflux,
That's what I figured.
so sometimes I just can't control it, and I don't know what's wrong with me.
I was actually about to say something like that. She was like, she said that she had too much burping, and the first thing that came to mind is a friend of mine, and he continuously burps, which is a little disgusting. But the thing is that he went to get tested, and they found out he has severe acid reflux. So usually, what you have to do in the morning, you have to, well, one of them. Well, first of all, you have to avoid certain foods that causes acid reflux, right? And you have to realize there's different types of acid. So usually tomato-based products or stuff like that, they tend to cause acid reflux. So some people have to take like acid reflux related medicine day and night. Two different types too. One for the day, one for night, to make them sleep. Uh, but the thing is, um, I also suffer from acid reflux, but not to a heavy extent, where I burp or anything like that. Mainly, it's certain things like Little Caesar pizza. Little Caesars, I think it's called, right? I remember eating that, and there was something about their tomato paste is really acidic, and um, I know that I've been to enough parties or potlucks where they always have that, and I've eaten it, and I'm just like, I know right away I'm gonna have to take a acid reflux type of pill afterward. But yeah, I fortunately I do not have it to the point like my friend. But there's people out there who won't change uh, their lifestyle choices, you know, despite suffering from this. For me, I just avoid it. I just avoid the foods that cause acid reflux, and you know, unfortunately, there's other things I have to avoid as well. Because on top of acid reflux, I'm also, according to, I had a, allergen blood test, and they said that I was allergic to lactose, which a lot of Asians are. So it's just, you know, you just buy lactose intolerant milk. But the biggest kicker, which I found out just months ago, was that I have a allergy towards egg whites. I'm like, what the heck? How is that even possible? Almost everything's made out of egg whites. So that sucked. I know when I tell people, they're like, oh man. They feel bad for me because when I say egg whites, they're like, everything's made of egg whites. Yeah. But you know what? That's one thing I've eaten eggs, boiled eggs, whatever. I've never had a problem. But I don't know. I started to realize, wait a minute. After I ate this, then I had this happen and stuff like that. I still haven't figured out, because the thing is that um, yeah, those are just little things you find out through blood tests. Um, and for those of you who are wondering, why do you keep on doing? Well, you talk about this stuff a lot. I talk about it because I do feel it's one of the things in life that is very important for people to do, especially when they do their yearly checkup or whatever. It's good to know. Like for me, when I started doing it, it was more of vitamins. I wanted to know what vitamins I was short of. So it was always vitamin D. But that's a common thing for people who do not, get enough vitamin D. I mean, there's only so much you could get from the sun, and if you do stay out in the sun, you also have to worry about, you know, cancer. So the thing is that you take vitamin D supplements. But I started doing supplements, and I just wanted to make sure, that my blood's okay. Also, to find out, that, uh, if your sugar, blood sugar, stuff like that, just to make sure that you're good, or if it's bad. Those things you gotta follow up, especially, you know, in life. If you especially if you have allergies or certain things, it's good to know how things are. And yeah, I think for the most part, it's rather sad because just recently, there's a woman I knew. Uh, I knew her briefly, but the thing is that I knew that she had a problem where she couldn't. Um, I guess she couldn't keep food in, and she always felt like, oh man, I don't know, something doesn't feel right. And she went to get checked, and unfortunately, um, she died of cancer. I'm not sure if it was breast cancer or ovarian cancer. I forgot, but I just knew that she was diagnosed with it stage 4 too late. So my feeling is always get checkups. If you don't feel right, always get checked. I There's too many people who try to avoid it, and I think it's because people worry about finding out if it's something serious. And of course, a second part of that is the financial issue, because yes, going to the doctor can also, incur costs, and that's something that a lot of people try to avoid. Um, but yeah, those are things, you kind of have to do those things if you want, But I understand for people that don't want to know, but by doing that, you go on with life thinking that everything's fine when things aren't, and that's where it becomes very important to have those daily blood tests. In fact, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning for a blood test. So anyway, let's continue.
It's kind of really gross. Like one time I went on a date with a guy, and I was embarrassed. And then, did you mute me?
No,
Are you lying?
I knew you.
And I was embarrassed. And he told me he was like, oh, I've never met a girl that burped as much as you. And then I got told that again recently. I just can't help it.
The trauma dump.
Also, like, how do I stop? Can anyone, actually, I don't think I've ever even asked this question. How do I stop burping so much? Like, even if I only drink just water, I'll burp. Like, literally.
It's the acid. It's just certain foods that you eat. It's just, and also you have to take certain medication, like acid reflux medication. And it's nothing bad. I mean, you could just go Costco or other, like your regular drugstore to find something like that. But you just have to have it in control, because the thing is that you could wake up and you could find your tongue burning, your teeth rotting. The thing is, the acid can cause damage, not just to that, but also to your stomach lining and so forth. So it's something that I hope she gets taken care of, because that's very important. Um, yeah. And here we go.
Anything.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here, Tiff. We're all glad you're here.
What?
At the end of the day. No, we're glad you're here.
Just don't. Someone said just don't eat.
We're walking into
Okay,
Dear Dr. K,
where they're going
I
is
used
Tokyo
to think I was never
Skytree,
meant to be
Solomachi
beautiful.
Town.
You work within my budget.
an aquarium, by the way.
Okay, well, it looks like they're going to Tokyo Skytree. And there is also Tokyo Solomachi Town. I'm not sure which one they're headed to, but anyway.
The what?
I think we're walking into an aquarium. Yep.
Wait, really? Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's hope we don't F. Wait, hell yeah.
I feel like a kid.
Yeah, but look at this one.
My family only took me to the aquarium one time when I was a kid. And they complained about how expensive it was.
Yeah.
We were broke.
All right, Tiff,
And then I
come
never
on.
went again.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Maybe.
Poor biscuit.
All right, Tiff. Well, you're here now. Like, we're showing you the aquarium, right? This is good.
Will you be my dad?
All right, yeah.
Hello?
she's still here.
Anyone there?
Yep.
Oh my god, no way! Oh god, I'm getting motion sickness. Look, it's blue. Okay, well, if you're not gonna answer, chat, will you be my dad? That one's kind of cute. It looks like a unicorn.
Chad, these are pretty good. I like the blue one though. I fuck with them heavy.
They hate me.
Oh, they don't, Tiff. They're not like your parents. They like you.
I thought that was a snail, but it's a filter. Oh my god, no way. Oh my god, man, there's penguins. Chat, in high school, we had Charlie Brown the musical, and I auditioned and I really wanted to be in the musical, but I didn't get the part, so I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah.
And it scarred me and it made me never want to try to audition for musicals ever again.
Everyone keeps on typing trauma dump. Oh my gosh.
And also,
Yeah.
like, one time, I was in the play James and the Giant Peach, and they made me a grasshopper. And then, like, 2 days before the show, my director was like, "How's your British accent going along?" And I was like, "What British accent?" She was like, "You're supposed to have a British accent." So I had a really bad British accent on stage.
So we're here at the Snoopy shop. I'm buying stuff for my mom because I love her. So really excited to give this to my mom later. This is a really wholesome moment for me.
And I had to play the ukulele. And then I smashed my finger on a hammer by accident backstage, like one day before the show. So I literally had to play my ukulele with a broken finger, and it hurt really bad. Dressed up as a grasshopper.
Trauma dump.
I really wanted to be the spider though from James and the Giant Peach, but they made me the fucking grasshopper instead.
Yeah.
Also, I fucking hate all the kids that I did theater with. They're all assholes. Fuck all of you guys. Think you're
Thank
gonna be
you.
fucking
This
famous? Think you can make fun of me? Tell me that I'm worthless? Tell me that I'm not gonna go anywhere in
Yep.
life? Tell me that
This was
you're
awesome.
better than
Thank
me?
you.
Trauma dump.
Well, guess what?
Not gonna forget this moment.
Guess what? I just ate banana ice cream, so who's laughing now? I just ate really good banana ice cream. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now?
I'm not.
Who's laughing?
We're not laughing. Just big day for me is all. Bought this for my mom.
What?
Just got this for my mom. You ever buy your mom anything?
Yeah.
Earplugs?
No, my mom had to sell her wedding ring when I was younger because our family was in debt because we were broke and we were about to lose the house because my dad brought us in debt because he has a really bad gambling addiction. And then my mom never got a ring ever again. So just like.
In a world
Oh
where
my
you've constantly been told what you can't do,
Poor Tiffany.
Who will you choose to be?
I think last year for her birthday, I helped pay for her diamond ring to replace it after like 20 years. I also took her to Vietnam for the first time in like 23 years. Because we can't afford it, or she can't afford it. So yeah, I do buy my mom stuff. Hello? Will you be my dad?
How about I be the streamer, all right? You go have. Your mom's calling you.
Yo, what the fuck?
Easily, we lost.
Oh my god. Look.
Hey, that's basically your logo, huh? So what college did you go to?
Huh?
What college did you go to?
A college in Virginia.
My parents paid for my full college.
My parents didn't.
Would your parents pay for just half?
They paid for some, definitely not half. I ended up paying for most of my college debt.
I feel like that's weird. Most of my friends' parents just paid for the whole thing.
Sorry, I don't come from a rich white family, Ms. Sorry, my parents immigrated here.
Usually with a lot of Asian parents, it depends which. I know with a lot of Japanese, Chinese, Koreans, a lot of East Asian, a lot of parents do take care of their parents' college, and I think there's some Filipinos as well. But my family, my parents were very. They let us know early on, if you're going to go to college, you need to take the responsibility of getting the loans yourself. There is nothing saved up for your college education. It's pretty much your thing. And I know that even now, you know, I have, friends who are kind of divided on it. There's one friend who has like three daughters, and he once, I think, once, he started working and everything, he made it a goal, him and his wife, that okay, whatever he makes or whatever she makes, one would have to pay the bills, and the other's paycheck would go to their kids' college education. So pretty much they live modestly, um, but the thing is that he couldn't do as much because all his paycheck, he was very strict about it, would never tap into it, would only go to his daughter's education. As long, he made sure the daughters were he was strict, made sure that their college education, that they were getting A's. And then after that, but I remember that when his first daughter, um, I think she was graduating high school, and I think, because she was so smart, that she was going to go to, like, I think, an Ivy League school or so. But uh, no matter how much you saved, going to an Ivy League school, that's very expensive, especially when you have three daughters, and they're almost similar in ages. And man, he had a hard time about it. But yeah, I think it's something that there are certain Asian parents have to. Those are discussions that tend to come up quite a bit, especially once one is about to enter college. If the parents are going to pay for it, or they're going to have to do college loans or whatever. I personally had to do the college loans, and I think, if anything, I paid mine off. I worked. I worked. Um, I worked at the postal service at night. That's when you're doing some work. And then I worked at the college because I was. I had a job there, and then I believe at I really wanted to pay off my college loan. Broke into They split into three payments. So what does that mean? Is that, unlike college loans where you have to pay one, with one bank, during your college years, it could break into to different banks. So that what it means is that you could end up paying three college loans due to it split into three different banks, and each college loan has its own payment, and it sucks because, yeah, if you have one college loan and if it didn't split, you would just pay the usual fee. But I think to make sure that you pay in time, they split, and then next thing you know, you end up with numerous college loans. It's a bad problem. It's a bad problem that happens to college students. But the thing is that uh, for me, I was very intent of paying it off. That was my top priority. So I worked while I was in college, uh, so I would not be in severe debt. I wanted to pay it off as quickly as possible, because they tell you, when you do your college loans and everything, there's like an intro class and everything, and they tell you straight up, there's a possibility that your college loan will split, and you will have to pay multiple banks or multiple loans. It's a possibility, and it does happen. So yeah, mine split three times. So I had three college loans, and it sucks. It sucks. But the thing is I already prepared for it. As when I was in college, I was already saving up to pay off those college loans as quickly as possible. I worked my ass off. I'll tell you that much. Even after I graduated from university, I made sure that I even took extra jobs while I was working a major career. I just did it in order to pay off the college loans. My goal was to pay it off within like two years or so, and so 2 years after, during and also after college, 2 years after, I worked my ass off just to pay off the college loans, and yeah, that's I did not get parental assistance or anything like that. My parents were clear that the way I look at it is that my parents did so much for us, to raise us, to give us a home to live in, and other things that I it was perfectly fine. And the same as my brother as well. He actually worked to become an engineer, and he also got the loans and paid it off right away. So that was our thing. But the crazy thing though is that my father then said, like, he said, "Oh, you know what? I guess it's through military, right? You get the like fund for your family." And he's like, "Hey, I got this. I didn't know about it, but or GI fund. I forgot what it is, but he says, do you guys still want to use it?" I'm like, "Dad, we graduated. We paid off our loans already." Uh, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So maybe my sister or whoever, I don't know. I don't know if it extends to grandkids. I think it's just direct family. But anyway, that's just an example.
And struggled. And my great grandpa had to ride to work on a kid's bike, and my dad only had one outfit, actually, in two outfits, and my grandma had to pawn one off in the summer.
You're gonna poke that kid's eyes out with your nail if you keep this up.
I'm sorry my mom couldn't go to school.
What the hell? Oh man. Miss Kid gets trauma dumped by Tiffany for 12 minutes. Wow. Anyway, the thing is that sometimes, I can definitely understand that struggle. People come from a life that, it's interesting because you always have. This is the one thing that's tough about certain Asian families is that there's always a competition with each other. Who can buy this? Who can buy that? Who has the nicest house? Who has the nicest car? And at the other side of the opposite end, you have people who just don't have much. They're not raised with much. They don't have barely anything, and I this is something that that comes into conversations, especially with Asians, and when it comes to educated family members, especially that immigrated from another country. And, when they come to the States or Canada or somewhere in Europe, or like, what do you do next? Do they continue their career that they had, if they had a career, or even if they moved to another country and they got their, not their green card, but more of to become a, um, I guess, what is it? Yeah, to become a citizen. Um, those are things that people have to realize that not everyone is fortunate to be blessed to have you know to go to Stanford or Yale or Harvard, but at the same time, you know, I guess these are debates that Asians and families, you know, Asians have when it comes to immigration, and there are Asians who are very strict with education. I've talked about it many times that as long as she's even since I was little, my grandfather was insistent that we knew right away you study hard, you work hard, because one of these days you're going to have to take care of your family. He always instilled that in us. But the thing is, he was also adamant on education and going to college and so forth. And, you know, more than anything, it's just do what you can because um, there may come a time when you're going to have to take care of your family. And he always said that. So for me, it's just you know, I guess it just depends on the person. Not all Asian families are the same, but the thing is that I know that for the educated ones that go to college, and the type of debates that we have or discussions that we have, um, it tends to, you know, go about this. I had a Korean friend who pretty much stayed in the university for so many years, even long after we graduated, he was still a student. And I said, dude, why are you doing this, man? I'm like, your family's paying like a lot. He didn't care. He just wanted to find a way to stay in the U.S. because he's from Korea, and becoming a student was his way to stay, unless he found an American citizen or wife, you know, to stay, and so he can become a natural citizen. Because once he left Korea, he realized America was his type of country that he wanted to be in, not South Korea. But everyone's different, right? And my feeling is um, that it's all subjective. You know, a lot of people come from rich families. A lot of people come from poor families. It's just a thing, or people come just right there in the middle. And I think for me, it was more towards the middle. Um, while my parents sometimes had lived like they're high class, they worked hard. They really worked hard, and um, I don't think we realized how much they worked hard because we grew up saying, "Oh, we get like we get all these vehicles and we got all this stuff," and you kind of take that for granted. And I think that as I think for me in high school, I actually moved out uh, earlier because of because I think I wanted to see how life was in the bigger city and experience the big city life of Los Angeles. And it was a very different life. I guess like how people when they come from overseas and they come to America, or they go to Paris, or they go to somewhere. It's just to a bigger city. I'm not saying that I came from like some um, like similarly little small town or anything like that. Um, but the thing is, though, is that um, I think being Asian, I lived in the area where there were not many Asians, so we lived pretty much a diversified, I guess you could say, in terms of culture. Uh, but once I went to LA, and I lived with family members, and realized, wow, things are really segregated. I was really shocked by that. And what I mean by that is that you had Filipinos on one side, you have Samoans on the other side, or the Islander side, I guess you could say, and you had Vietnamese there, Cambodians there, and and then of course, I played sports, so I was very athletic, and um, was involved with football team, and I was I just remember that everyone was just different cultures there, but I was just really shocked because where I came from, there was no segregation of certain ethnicity groups. Everyone was all together. It was usually, if there was anything, it was mostly jock, stoner, uh, or band students or something like that. But it was totally. If there was segregation, it's mainly in of that versus uh, ethnicity. But once I went to Los Angeles, I was really shocked about that. Just the differences, and I had no problem, knowing people of different races, and they were like, "Why are you doing that? Why?" People are like, "Hey, how come you're hanging with all this group? Why are you hanging with this group?" I'm like, "Why not? What's the problem with that?" So it was just a really fascinating uh, and interesting time to go to college in Los Angeles going to high school, and then everything was totally different from the other high school I came from. Um, but you know what? That's life. Especially a lot of people encounter things, especially if they move around a lot, or military, or just family moving to find a better life, and yeah, it's just very interesting. Anyway, what time is 36 minutes, right? Okay, I think I'll cut this one for now, and I will yeah, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Yeah. Um, no, I'll in this. I'm looking at these other clips right now, whether or not, because this one's a very long one. It was with Nick and Catchy at a bounce park, but I think I'm gonna save that one for later. So, but yeah, thank you for listening to me talk about acid reflux and Asian collegiate and high school life. It's just, yeah, that's just how it is. So, you all take care, and I will see you later. Wink, wink, and